Really, there is only one thing that prevents anyone from truly succeeding at the game of life. It is a terrible attempt at self-justification. You must always feel defeated and live in constant fear of taking that eventual hit if you want to feel like a winner. You see and feel yourself as the winner self you long to be when your life is bringing you up into the experience of some form of personal success. When the top basketball player makes the huge shot, watch how relieved she appears to be. She experiences freedom from the loser self she fears becoming and identification with the winning self she longs to be at that very time. Take a look at what people do to one another to get away from the feeling of connecting with their inner loser. We lash out violently in an attempt to stop feeling controlled, but the unfairness is that no one is actually dominating us other than our own association with the notion that we are being ruled. People try to outdo one another while hurting or harming the other in order to show that they have not been surpassed by the other. However, the sensation of being surpassed only exists in the mind of the person who is trying to dominate, defeat, or harm the other. For something larger, we must sacrifice something smaller. To find our genuine selves, we must renounce our identity with all other identities. The authentic self is not concerned about impressing others. The actual self has no need for fear or desperation in this world. In everything, the genuine self is led by knowledge. Always disappointed or putting itself up for disappointment, the false self. You feel let down as you identify with the notion that you are failing in some way in life. In that instant, you despise yourself because you see yourself as a loser who earns less money than others, spends less time with your family, is less well known, or is not as attractive. You start to identify with the idea of being a winner and fall in love with yourself all over again when you start to see yourself as someone who earns more money than others, has more time to spend with your family, is better known, and is more attractive. Do you see how this illustrates a mistreatment of yourself? It tells the well-known story of the love-hate dynamic that ruins so many relationships, including marriages, two-parent families, and individual lives. Life always throws you curveballs to show how fleeting and unsatisfying all false selves are. You eventually stop caring about feeling like a winner because you stop caring about worrying about feeling like a loser. You eventually come to the realization that you cannot pick up a stick with only one end, just as you cannot have one without the other. Parents spend a lot of time and energy trying to encourage their children to act in a way that always makes the parent feel in charge, in control, and full of respect for themselves. You cannot do this for a child. Nothing in life will be able to do this for you. Every circumstance in life has its opposite. As long as you let life's alternatingly opposing circumstances determine who you are, you will alternately feel like a terrified victim of life and a fearless conqueror. The emotional seesaw of associating with false, passing personas eventually loses its appeal, just as adults reach a moment where playing on a seesaw becomes boring. This signifies the beginning of true spiritual adulthood. We no longer desire to play on the playground. We favor the excitement of everyday living. Live in your true self to experience the excitement of genuine life rather than the terror caused by having a phony life. Realize the futility of trying to prove yourself, your value, or your deservingness to anyone, including yourself, to achieve this. Look at the feeling and tell yourself, this is not who I really am, both when you feel like a winner and when you feel like a loser. This is merely a fleeting response to a thought I had about myself. Look behind the constant stream of fleeting selves that you experience throughout the day for the lasting feeling of self. Self might gradually feel more freedom from association with the false you that must always fall by just searching within for the true you. As long as you strive for the satisfaction of feeling like a winner, you cannot escape the sorrow of feeling like a loser. To truly succeed in the game of life, you don't need to prove yourself, all you need to do is find out who you really are. When you feel that someone else is treating you in a way that undermines your self-confidence, consider how critical you are of yourself. Focus instead on ceasing to relate to yourself in that way whenever you feel like yelling or retaliating because of how someone else seems to be reacting to you. Your drive and self-confidence will both increase as you reflect on what you truly want to achieve at the core of your being and connect your thinking with confidence-building strategies. This will allow you to advance as far as possible in the path you truly desire. I hope you found this video useful and informative. Please subscribe to my channel, turn on the notifications bell and hit that like button. I'll see you in the next one.